One late evening, the hotel lobby of the Grand Imperial was nearly empty. The sound of shoes tapping against the polished marble echoed as Daniel, a young lawyer, hurried inside. He had an urgent meeting with a client upstairs, and he was already late. Just as he reached the elevator, the doors began to close. Daniel stretched out his arm and slid inside at the last second. He exhaled in relief, but he wasn't alone. Standing in the corner was a tall, sharply dressed man, probably in his mid-40s. His suit was immaculate, his tie perfectly knotted, and his gaze calm, almost too calm. He gave a small nod. "Evening," the man said. Daniel nodded back, but something about him felt heavy. The elevator hummed quietly as it rose. Then, without warning, the stranger's briefcase slipped from his hand and snapped open as it hit the floor. Daniel froze. Inside wasn't paperwork or clothes, but stacks of cash, bundled tightly with black straps. The amount was staggering, far more than anyone would normally carry. The man's eyes locked on Daniel's. He crouched down slowly, gathered the money back into the case, and closed it firmly. "You didn't see anything, did you?" he asked softly, but his voice carried a hidden threat. Daniel's heartbeat quickened. He forced a nervous smile. "That depends. Was there something to see?" The man smirked, but his eyes didn't smile. "I like people who know when to keep quiet." Just then, the elevator shuddered violently. Lights flickered, and with a loud metallic clang, it came to a dead stop, stuck between the 15th and 16th floors. The sudden silence was deafening. Daniel pressed the emergency button, but no response. He tried again. Nothing. The stranger leaned against the wall casually, as if he expected this. "Looks like we've got time to talk." Minutes dragged by. The air grew warmer, the silence heavier. Daniel's phone buzzed. A message from his client asking where he was. He quickly slipped it back into his pocket, trying not to draw attention, but the man noticed. "You're a lawyer, aren't you?" Victor asked, his tone unsettlingly calm. Daniel hesitated. "Yeah, how'd you know?" Lawyers always have that sharp look in their eye. Calculating, dangerous. Daniel forced a laugh, but his palms were sweating. Then Victor sat down, resting the briefcase on his knees. "You should understand something. This money, it's not what you think. It's more dangerous than you can imagine, and now you've seen it." Daniel swallowed. He realized the man wasn't just wealthy, he was involved in something criminal. He had two choices: stay quiet and hope to walk out alive, or play along and try to outsmart him. So he pretended to relax. He asked questions, carefully, casually. "So, what's a guy like you doing carrying around a fortune in cash?" Victor chuckled. "Let's just say I work in problem solving." But as Victor spoke, Daniel slowly activated his phone's voice recorder. He kept it hidden in his pocket, capturing every word. Time crawled by. Victor offered Daniel a deal, half the money in exchange for silence. The temptation was strong, but Daniel shook his head, not interested. Victor's expression darkened. "Then maybe you're a problem I'll have to solve." At that exact moment, the elevator jolted. The doors creaked and slowly slid open. Maintenance workers had finally pried it free. The two men stepped out into the empty hallway. The workers left, unaware of the tension between them. Victor leaned close, his voice a whisper filled with menace. "You just made yourself a powerful enemy." But Daniel, holding his phone tightly in his pocket with the recording secured, smiled faintly. "Or maybe, I just made myself a powerful case." Victor's eyes narrowed, but he said nothing. He walked away down the corridor, disappearing into the shadows. Briefcase in hand, Daniel stood there, his heart pounding. He knew his life had just changed forever.